Today, we're going to be talking about the 3 critical areas to improve in order to run faster. This is what we do when you come into the lab is we'll get you on the treadmill. We'll look at some of the things within your technique and really get specific in how you can improve your speed. And really what I go through, especially with people that are struggling with their sprinting mechanics, are these 3 areas to really easily identify some improvements that can be made. The first one is going to be as the foot is leaving the treadmill or the ground, we can see here that there's a very different position with the opposite leg. So I'll have a couple different things that I'll kind of cue here. One will be the height of the knee. The other will be the position of the toe. So you can see the difference in separation. And a lot of that just has to do, in my opinion, with just the height of the toe and how effectively we can get the toe up. And really what's important is as that foot is leaving the ground, as the foot is leaving the treadmill, already having this toe up or the opposite toe up is a very great indicator of how good we're going to have of our front side mechanics. And then the other thing is going to be is simply the timing of the push off and being able to maximize how well you're able to push off the ground to make it so then you can more effectively get the leg through. So what we're looking at here is now the back leg and what's happening as the foot is coming off the ground. So really what you want to be able to do is keep your knee bent as the foot's coming off the ground. So then you're pushing into extension in that back foot. And what we commonly see is we'll get into extension early in the back knee and then make it so then the push off with the back foot doesn't end up being as strong because of the timing. If you're pushing with the knee still bent, now we could really propel ourselves forward and get into what's called triple extension, which is a critical part of power production, where if you get into extension with the knee, then a lot of times you're also extending at the hip, and then later you're going to extend within the ankle. So it's just a sequencing that ends up being off with the timing, where if you can get the knee bent, now everything's going to be syncing up properly as you're extending, which will help in being able to just push straight forward. And then the last thing, and I'll use this one here as well, is just going to be the separation of the arms. So the better we can get the hands back behind the hips, the more we can get the hands out in front, the better we're going to be. Where if we're close with the hands, we're just not going to be able to generate as much power through the legs. And so we want to be able to really master when the foot's coming off the ground. He's doing a good job here, getting that opposite foot to be able to come up. We also want to be pushing off. And one of the things that I'll also cue with that is going to be as soon as you land, start getting that heel to start coming up. The quicker we can get that heel up as your foot striking the ground, then the better quality push off we're going to be getting. Being able to master that's critical. And then the last thing is being able to better separate your hands and your arms will make it so then you can also generate more power within the spine, within the hips, and maximize your speed. So those are the 3 things. I wanted to keep this quick, but really get specific into how you can master your sprinting. There's obviously a lot more that we can get into, but if you cannot do those 3 fundamental critical things, then work on that first. Start to get better, start to improve, and then we can get more technical as you go. But this is just a brief understanding of, one, what we do when you come in here. So in what we focus on within your sprinting technique, we want to get as simple as possible, right? We don't want to get too complex too early. We want to get some basic, simple things down and then get more complex as you go. I know I do a lot of videos that get into very specific parts, but let's get very fundamental here and get very specific into these fundamentals and then build on top of that. I think that's critical for being able to run faster. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.